than I probably would there.
It's all right. They taught me some new Czech words, but they told me it was hello ladies, but it was not hello ladies.
That river for yourself.
Yeah, going a little bit wide to the left there, taking a little bit of a longer track than he needed to be. I hope that doesn't cost him too much there. And he is across the line. Across the line, and now we're moving into our top two competitors.
Yeah, 3 youngsters have been completed at this point with their aims of being a world champion. Now we're into the final 2. Up on the ramp now is Nils BIERMANS.
there, and it just sort of bossed him around a little. So sitting up now is everybody just knows this.
As we get it kicked off.
120.
Okay.
That's Gerhard Schmidt. Was on my.
We're going to watch his lap go down, but this is not. This is not.
The youngsters category going on that right side. So.
Yes, but that right side was the winning men's time happened on the right side, and the second place qualifier happened on the left side. So
interesting. So it's a toss-up on which is faster. So.
It's SODOMKA, so I guess Kopacek got stricken. So he's not. This is David SODOMKA dropping.
Claw out on the ramp now. Credit to how good of a paddler David is.
Yeah, but he spends a lot of time out there with top expedition boaters, making a lot of photos. You can check him out. He does a calendar every year, which is actually full of some very nice shots.
Oh, some of the best whitewater photography I've ever seen has come from this man on the course right now. He is used to paddling for a little bit longer than a minute and a half, I would say, as his expeditions go on for weeks at a time. So we'll see how he can do on a sprint-style course. Right now he's coming in to the beginning of the staircase. He has driven quite far right there. Doesn't want to get subbed out too much, but he does make the mandatory rock as he comes out onto the biggest move of the course.
There it is. Nice clean line in his DRX, pushing through to the end. He definitely doesn't look quite as tired as Gerhard Schmidt did.
No.
But he seems to be pushing through just fine. Looks like he's going to take that river right line. There's a little sort of difficult rock that he just went over that you have to sort of kind of just cut real close, keep the bow up, and just keep it nice and smooth through here.
You can see his strokes are getting a little bit more tiresome at the bottom of the course. He's giving his all. There we are, starting to see a little bit of that grin on his face as he crosses the finish line. Let's see if we'll get some
get stuck on the rock.
Tongues out of the mouth on this guy.
There he is. This is
ledges, and he wants to definitely keep his bow dry, choose the cleanest line, and not get hit by any waves that might pop up on his kayak and slow him down. Right now, he's going on that left side in a very clean section now. Now he's got to make sure he is driving right to get past that mandatory right, which he does very clean, and now he's getting to the bottom section of the course.
And in the heart of the rapids right now, he drops through beautiful boof there off that tricky boof. If the boys drop that nose a bit too soon, they're going to catch a lot of water, slow the boat right down. He'll head hard to the right now and come down this ramp. Oh, he's moving over to the left. That was the ramp.
There. We'll see if that is an optimal line later on that paddlers will choose. We'll see.
The fastest guys in semis were on the right side of that last rock. We speak in left and rights in terms of the flow, so as you look down the river, not as we're looking at the river. And here he is, our first competitor in the finals, across the line, and I hope he has an excellent time here.
Yeah, he looks smooth all throughout. It's now about seeing if during that beginning and the end he was able to really keep his boat up to speed. As you see him coming through the crux here on this ledge, wanting to keep that bow dry. Yeah.
Excellent boof. Really good skip out.
Yeah, really good boof, and you see immediately following that boof, that right-hand stroke to keep his momentum up. And now we're going second up on the youngsters.
So we got Jakob Franz from Pilsen, a local Czech boy, coming down. He really wants to show everybody what it's about.
Yeah, you know the Czech fans here that showed up on the riverside want to see him throw down a good time. And right now he is had a good skip off the ramp and really cruising through the flatter sections, keeping those strokes nice and clean. And for right now, he is a paddler for
he's paddling for Zed Kayaks and Hiko. And there you can see he's getting a little bit coverage over through the waves. Ooh, gets pushed hard offline and needing to do a lot of correction there to put himself back online and accelerate through the flats. That is really going to cost him dearly, because what you want to be is pushing through into those flats, accelerating, and being able to drive all the way down them.
Yeah,
and
so let's see if he can make it up during the crux of the rapids here. He needs to start driving a little bit right. Hopefully he can make up those couple seconds that he kind of stuttered through the flatter section. Right now, he's getting a little bit caught up on that wave.
Fully stopped in that hole, and now he's fighting to bring it back on course. This boof will be key. He got a reasonable boof and managing to push through into the flats here. But I'm afraid, I believe he's just lost too much time.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure we're not looking at the winning time here. But there he is, coming down into the bottom of the course. He should be doing quite well. He'll be happy to see the finish line now, I believe.
Will be. And that's one of the things, those few mistakes up top will start to calm down just a little bit, because he will be getting tired. And when you get to this last section, you know you have to throw in some hard paddles. And if you've already used that energy, you've already burned that matchstick below, it can be difficult. So we'll see what his time throws up here in a second. Okay, next on the list for the youngsters.
yesterday, but I was,
Too many,
Mordechai Chochinye. They taught me some new Czech words, but they told me it was hello ladies, but it was nice little skip out, getting some driving. You can hear the Czechs applauding him and giving them the big cheer on. There he is down the flats. Oh, looking very nice and clean, but stopped a little bit in that hole, but it's looking good, recovered well, maintaining that. I mean, I even have one.
Ledges, and he wants to definitely keep his bow dry, choose the cleanest line, and not get hit by any waves that might pop up on his kayak and slow him down. Right now, he's going on that left side in a very clean section now. Now he's got to make sure he is driving right to get past that mandatory right, which he does very clean, and now he's getting to the bottom section of the course.
And in the heart of the rapids right now, he drops through. Beautiful boof there off that tricky boof. If the boys drop that nose a bit too soon, they're going to catch a lot of water, slow the boat right down. He'll head hard to the right now and come down this ramp. Oh, he's moving over to the left. That was the ramp.
There. We'll see if that is an optimal line later on that paddlers will choose. We'll see.
The fastest guys in semis were on the right side of that last rock. We speak in left and rights in terms of the flow, so as you look down the river, not as we're looking at the river. And here he is, our first competitor in the finals, across the line, and I hope he has an excellent time here.
Yeah, he looks smooth all throughout. It's now about seeing if during that beginning and the end he was able to really keep his boat up to speed. As you see him coming through the crux here on this ledge, wanting to keep that bow dry. Yeah.
Excellent boof. Really good skip out.
Yeah, really good boof, and you see immediately following that boof, that right-hand stroke to keep his momentum up. And now we're going second up on the youngsters.
So we got Jakob Franz from Pilsen, a local Czech boy, coming down. He really wants to show everybody what it's about.
Yeah, you know the Czech fans here that showed up on the riverside want to see him throw down a good time. And right now he is had a good skip off the ramp and really cruising through the flatter sections, keeping those strokes nice and clean. And for right now, he is a paddler for
he's paddling for Zed Kayaks and Hiko.
That's
and there you can see he's getting a little bit coverage over through the waves. Ooh, gets pushed hard offline and needing to do a lot of correction there to put himself back online and accelerate through the flats. That is really going to cost him dearly, because what you want to be is pushing through into those flats, accelerating, and being able to drive all the way down them.
Yeah,
and
so let's see if he can make it up during the crux of the rapids here. He needs to start driving a little bit right. Hopefully he can make up those couple seconds that he kind of stuttered through the flatter section. Right now, he's getting a little bit caught up on that wave.
Wholly stopped in that hole, and now he's fighting to bring it back on course. This boof will be key. He got some reasonable boof and managing to push through into the flats here. But I'm afraid, I believe he's just lost too much time.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure we're not looking at the winning time here. But there he is, coming down into the bottom of the course. He should be doing quite well. He'll be happy to see the finish line now, I believe.
Will be. And that's one of the things, those few mistakes up top will start to calm down just a little bit because he will be getting tired. And when you get to this last section, you know you have to throw in some hard paddles. And if you've already used that energy, you've already burned that matchstick below, it can be difficult. So we'll see what his time throws up here in a second. Okay, next on the list for the youngsters,
Tobiáš KARLIK from somewhere in Czech.
I think
they told me how to say it yesterday, but
Mordechai
Chochinje.
He gave it a better attempt than I probably would there.
It's all right. They taught me some new Czech words, but they told me it was hello ladies, but it was not hello ladies. So we won't be using that today. He's down the ramp with a nice little skip out, getting some driving. You can hear the Czechs applauding him and giving them the big cheer on. There he is down the flats. Oh, looking very nice and clean, but stopped a little bit in that hole, but it's looking good, recovered well. Maintaining that forward momentum through these smaller rapids is absolutely key here. I mean, I even have one of the male competitors standing behind me watching this monitor, trying to catch some little tricks and tips from the commentators. Isn't that right, Barbara? Here we go. And coming into the heart of the rapids, our friend Tobiáš.
So he's coming in now, and he has about 250 meters to the finish line at this point, and it's coming in again. Needs to start driving right as that mandatory, right behind that Hiko sign you see there. This is where he's going to need to get right. Very smooth.
Excellent lines.
Yeah, very smooth through that section, making that bigger boat for a youngster. Just kind of gliding across the water. It's really cool to see.
You could watch the cadence dropped, and he was really focused on hitting those lines, because hitting the line in this section is much more key than what is going on with the forward speed. Right now is the time to press.
Right, you do not want a machine gun paddle through the rapids. Instead, you want to use that river for yourself.
Yeah, going a little bit wide to the left there, taking a little bit of a longer track than he needed to be. I hope that doesn't cost him too much there.
Oh,
and he is across the line. Across the line, and now we're moving into our top two competitors.
Yeah, 3 youngsters have been completed at this point with their aims of being a world champion. Now we're into the final 2. Up on the ramp now is Nils BIERMANS. Let's see what he has. Crawling up right to the edge of that ramp, waiting for the officials to tell him it is his time to shine. You can see he is focused, he is ready, and he wants to bring home the goal as he slides off that ramp. Now, good little skip there. Now he needs to keep that momentum up. You see he got a little struggled up right on that second or third stroke, but you really need to keep that momentum, because bringing that boat up the speed is an energy zapper, which you do not want at the top of the course.
So the top 2 youngsters today in semis were 2 Frenchies, so they're battling it out between the 2 of them. They are both known on course as Milo's Minions, which is a reasonably famous YouTuber out of France, and they work for him on and off as raft guides in the rivers. But here he is. He's looking very smooth and clean in his Waka Stoke, coming down the river.
Great little technique with the paddle strokes. You see his arms fully extended, trying to get as much power behind every stroke that he has as he's coming in to, once again, the crux of the staircase rapid here in Lipno. Now what you want to do here is make sure that bow is nice and dry. As we've mentioned before, he's coming around the mandatory right, and he is making it look clean. You can see his boat is just skipping on the top. Let's see how he does it. Little stutter, but all right there. He needs to really push these last few seconds in order to guarantee him a gold, but right now he is looking pretty optimal throughout his lines. Let's see how he does on the bottom section.
Here he goes, he's coming down, and you can see now he's going for this left line here, or right line, sorry, and trying to keep it skimming through on top of the water. Nils is looking pretty good. He definitely wants to beat his good buddy Edgar, who will be our first qualifier, or our fastest qualifier which is coming up next. And that's it. Nils is across the line.
Impressive line there at the end. Had a really good lap there. We'll see if it's going to be enough to make the finals. But it is just impressive to watch these youngsters, paddlers under 18, going through this course as we get on to our final contestant under the youngsters trying to bring home gold.
There it is, Palou Brasseur starting off on the line, our fastest qualifier today. What happened? Oh, we have a nice little scanning of the rapid, but there he is in the back, steaming down there. The drone's a little bit behind, but it's coming up. There it is. The drone. Ega, Milo's top minion. Look, there he is down the sides trying to keep on that fast water. Right there, he's trying to keep the boat on top of that eddy line, so that's where the water mixes with the slower water on the edge of the river, skimming across the top. There it is, Ega coming into the thing. Let's see how wide he sets up now. As they come into this mandatory move, they try and set up quite wide to the left on the shot so they can angle really hard back to the right and get a nice clean line through here and let the water sort of push the boat forwards into this next booth.
Right, no matter what, the river's always going to be the strong component.
Big mistake there. Big mistake getting pushed offline right there.
That could
stalling
be a
out.
gold medal ender right there off that booth. It really hung him up. He needs to somehow, in this bottom section, gain quite a few seconds in order to attack that podium, which is going to be hard to do in a minute-and-a-half course. We will see. He's really trying to catch up as much as he can, but the reality is this race could have been ended on that one single.
That was ended on that one single. There's not
Give it a second.
That was ended. And that's it. That's the end of our youngsters. So congratulations to them. Thank you, boys. It was some pretty nice looking racing there. Oh, there it is, back on the replay, getting shoved into that little hole and completely stalling out. He just caught that tail under the main drop there, and it just sort of bossed him around a little bit, the river there. Yeah. A little bit of a thing. So sitting up now is we've got a good friend of mine, Kopacek from Prague. Yuri.
You look on the screen right now, you can see Czech Republic or Czechia is represented in our Masters.
Yeah, Kopacek. Everybody just knows this guy is Kopacek. And look at it. In the Masters, it's a clean sweep. All Czech guys. David SODOMKA is up there. Pavel Srbecki, HONZA, Kolář, and Viktor LEGAT are our top qualifier from Zet Boats, one of our sponsors today. So he's definitely the man to beat, a former Olympian, Viktor is. And Kopacek's pretty good though. Kopacek, I happen to know, is off the couch to this. He doesn't really paddle anymore.
It is a hard hit this for our Masters as we get it kicked off. Kopacek is on the ramp ready to
That's not Kopacek.
Let's see what number we at. Number 20.
120. Okay. That's Gerhard Schmidt. Was on my thing here, it says he's DQ'd, so I don't know what's going on.
Yeah, we will get the information here in a little bit. We're going to watch his lap go down, but this is not Yuri's.
No. What is it? Kopacek? Yeah, this is Gerhard Schmidt from Klagenfurt, which is southern Austria in Kärnten. So he's coming down. From what I understood, there was some discussion about him not making the mandatory line in semifinals. So maybe they're running them both. I am not sure what exactly is going, but on our list he is DQ'd. But all the best to him. I guess that's above my pay grade. So here he comes into setting up for the core rapids here. Pushing over for that mandatory right line.
He does seem to acquire it this time, so he knows where he is headed, and now he needs to get to the bottom.
He looks like he's struggling there. Looks like he's burned it up a bit.
For some reason, the Masters seem to be a little bit more out of breath than the youngsters that we just saw earlier.
For some reason.
For some reason. Yes, as he comes into the bottom of the course, he is going to want to pick it up just a little bit. He got splashed around and caught up. Oh, he is choosing to go on river left as well. I think we only saw one contestant in the youngsters category going on that right side. So.
Yes, but that right side was the winning men's time happened on the right side, and the second place qualifier happened on the left side. So
interesting. So it's a toss-up on which is faster. He looks that tongue out. He gave it all he had there. So
Yurka
who is up on the ramp. We are thinking this time.
No, it's SODOMKA. So I guess Kopacek got stricken.
Okay.
So he's not. This is David SODOMKA dropping.
Claw out on the ramp now. So if you don't know him, you probably do. You just don't realize that he is one of the leading and the most incredible whitewater photographers out there. And he himself says he is not a racer. So for him to be already in the top 5 in the finals in the World Championship is just credit to how good of a paddler David is.
Yeah, but he spends a lot of time out there with top expedition boaters, making a lot of photos. You can check him out. He does a calendar every year, which is actually full of some very nice shots.
Oh, some of the best whitewater photography I've ever seen has come from this mountain, of course, right now. He is used to paddling for a little bit longer than a minute and a half, I would say, as his expeditions go on for weeks at a time. So we'll see how he can do on a sprint-style course. Right now he's coming in to the beginning of the staircase. He has driven quite far right there. Doesn't want to get subbed out too much, but he does make the mandatory rock as he comes up onto the biggest boom of the course.
There it is. Nice clean line in his DRX, pushing through to the end. He definitely doesn't look quite as tired as Gerhard Schmidt did.
No.
But he seems to be pushing through just fine. Looks like he's going to take that river right line. There's a little sort of difficult rock that he just went over that you have to sort of kind of just cut real close, keep the bow up, and just keep it nice and smooth through here.
You can see his strokes are getting a little bit more tiresome at the bottom of the course. He's giving his all. There we are, starting to see a little bit of that grin on his face as he crosses the finish line. Let's see if we'll get some...
Get stuck on the rock.
Tongues out of the mouth on this guy.
There he is. This is him in the main flats of the course in the middle. This is really where you feel the lactic acid burn. Up here from the E-Finance Sport Team, we've got Pavel Serbecki from Brno, Moravia. All right, Pavel is one of the idealists of the world in developing special hydrogen things, but E-Finance Sport Team is sponsoring this guy. He was the Masters champion last year at this race, and he is off down the thing. He takes this very seriously, I happen to know. Yes.
There was several E-Finance paddlers represented on this event.
Oh, yes, that's one of the big teams in Czech.
So it is cool.
I'm also a member of the team.
Are you now? I didn't realize I was sitting with a celebrity over here.
No celebrity, but they all gave me sort of free swag, so I said I was allowed to be part of the team.
It's cool to see a company like that just be stoked on whitewater boating. And you can tell this paddler is just as stoked as he gets through the flats. Now he's coming up. And this section right here is a energy sucker, that is for sure. You can see that they're having to throw in the most strokes here as they come into the stair steps. So you're already quite tired.
Actually also been in a winning Dolomitan team, which is the big race in Lienz.
That's right. Massive race, a little bit different style of a race. So he is a paddler that can cross different categories, that's for sure. He's coming in a little struggle, having to do an adjustment stroke on the right side as he comes into that boom, but he still keeps that nose up. Not looking quite as clean through that section as the previous paddler, but still making it a fast time. And it looks like he's also choosing to go on the right side.
Yes, this is the boat that they are paddling, the Ninja from Zet Kayaks, one of our sponsors. Bit of a trickier boat to paddle down this course because the tail is quite small and the river easily bosses you around.
You will see a lot of the boats have a lot more volume in the back, which gives them a little bit more stability. This boat was designed by a very accredited C1 and K1 paddler on the Zet and Hiko team. And it allows for a little bit more maneuverability, but it does reduce the stability there.
And there it is, Viktor Oh no, HONZA Kolář.
Another
One of the
paddler.
Brazilian HONZAs here in the Czech Republic.
I think there's only 5 names in all of Czech Republic, and HONZA is definitely one of the 5. That is for sure.
Well, it's actually Jan, but all Jans become HONZAs.
Eventually.
And all Jakobs get some other name. Because otherwise, I don't know how they tell people apart. I guess it's just like, yeah.
That makes it easier.
Trains and brains, trains and brains. Here we are. HONZA is lining up the flats. This is a key part. So you've seen some of the paddlers come on the far side up against the bank, but there is a line through the middle there as they are pushing hard down the river here. He's also paddling from the Zet boats here, the Ninja, but making it look very good and very quick right in front of our announcer's stand. There he is into the entrance and pushing across. He's got to keep that. Ooh, tags the rock, which
Got a little piece of it.
makes him a little bit wetter and pushing him offline.
Seems like he's still adjusting all the way up until he got into that final ledge group.
Yes.
Means that there could be seconds reduced that he is not wanting on this final lap.
Well, not really seconds. Yesterday in our qualification, we had top 10 men were separated by less than 2 seconds. So half seconds, tenths of a seconds, they matter here.
Yep.
So you need to be online all the time. Is the one who gets it the smoothest is going to be the one that wins it.
And I would say it does just kind of complement the level of the competitors that are here. When your competition is that close, if you are half a second off and you could be 15, 20 from the leader, it just shows that this race is pretty balanced on how well the paddlers out here are. Okay.
All right, there we are.
The legend himself.
The owner of Zet Kayaks, Viktor LEGAT, former Olympian. He's off on the course, having 99. Call me the great one, like doing Gretzky. He is pretty fast. Viktor and I, we go paddling occasionally. Been up there, watched him train in Prague. It's good times with him.
Victor is one of my favorite people. As you saw him getting off that ramp, he did take a little side hit on his ribs. Didn't really get that skip out when he wants, which will cost him a little bit, so he's going to want to make it up. He has a very...
Look how high and dry he keeps the bow of that boat.
That's what
he's got it going on. Oh, he's in the cross today, I believe. You can see.
Is cross. I talked to him a little bit earlier about that, and this just fits the course for him a little bit better. And you can tell that as a advanced and very knowledgeable paddler, he knew that he needed to make up a couple seconds in that flat.
Oh, look at that. Nice and clean right in front of us. He's just so smooth across the water.
Yeah.
He's looking good today.
Looks like he's floating across butter. He is just so clean with those lines.
He was 3 seconds faster than HONZA. I'm pretty sure he is definitely the man to beat today. Look at it, the cadence is dropped just so he hits nice clean lines and keeps that boat moving smooth through the harder section here, and you'll see the power come back on here in just a second. So yeah, he also big supporter of this event. He's been supporting Mira and Devil's Race for a very long time. I don't know how many years, they can tell you themselves.
Zet Kayaks and him are definitely always the name you see at Devils as well. And love seeing his support.
There he is across the line, barely out of breath. We'd also like to thank one of our title sponsors as well is Hiko. Hiko guys, and we definitely need to thank those guys in Water We Live. They were up there at the starting reel. So that is the end of our Masters Men's today. We will have some updated results in a few minutes, posted online, I believe, on Kayak Session, so you can look there if you're interested. Now it's the women's. There was River Mutton. She is our third qualifier. She definitely is one of the ladies to beat there for sure. But we're going to start off with Anna Faber from Dormagen.
Dormagen, yeah, so women's are up next. You can see it on the screen. Again, that was the fastest times.
That graphic was fast as well. That was the fastest time on the graphics there.
Better be as fast of a reader as you are a paddler here.
But it said Anna Faber, Britta Young, River Mutton, Marisa KAUP, who I think might be the current champion, and Coline Charel from France.
And who do we have on the ramp right now?
I believe that would be the Anna Faber. Looks like it's already number 18. She's getting ready there in her Waka. Ooh, that's a good guess. Which Waka is that one?
I'm going to go ahead and say it is a Stoke. Look at that tail.
Stoke, it is. Good call. It is Waka Stoke. Not much of a skip out there. She looked like really stall out. It means just means a lot of work and energy spent trying to bring the boat up to speed into these flats. Make no mistake, these ladies are quick.
Oh, they are fast. Again, yesterday watching the qualifiers, it was amazing to see all of them come out and how close that competition was. And we're excited because the semifinals was just as intense. We started with the 10 females paddling this morning, and we're down to 5. And you can see as she's coming into the staircase here in a second. She is wanting to drop from 5 to that first place with this lap alone.
All right, there it is. Our Daicha, she comes past our stand. She's looking pretty good, pretty clean, pretty fast. These ladies, their time spread is about, let's see, about 5-6 seconds across the top 5. So there definitely is some space for her to improve, to see if she can knock that top Frenchie off. Ooh, getting bossed around by the river, but still recovers nicely. Stays in the flow, so she kept her speed.
Yep.
And now is where she needs to accelerate.
She's wanting to bring home the gold for the women's category. She really needs to put down a fast few seconds here at the bottom of the course. She is opting to go on the left side again, which we didn't see, I think, in the last 3 competitors of the Masters.
No, it's, I'm pretty sure from the top guys, they have decided that the right side is, or the river right side is definitely fast line down there. But I think it also, like, second fastest qualifier in the men's went left, so it's
really up to the rider and what they're feeling comfortable with. Sometimes
I would say
if you're feeling more comfortable with the line, it's going to be faster than possibly.
We don't have the current champion here, which should be Laura Hofstadter from Ausberg.
Who do we have right now?
We have
that's a young, another
number 4.
This is the second turn in a row, so feel good to them. As she gets into the top of the course, we are now catching up as she gets into the flats, coming right outside, wanting to keep that bow dry as she gets through some of these waves. And for you at home, it might look a little bit flatter on the television screen than what she's actually going down. These waves will definitely take you out, take your speed out if you do not keep that nose up. So she's wanting to make sure she is dry. And now she's getting to that last section of the flat before she gets into the crux.
Looks like a Exo Lion, I think is what that is.
It's an Exo boat.
No, it's the King Lion or something.
It's not slalom. Okay, she comes in with that flat kayak.
It's the Exo Lion, I think. Oh, it might be the slalom freak. Oh, well. Anyways, here she comes into the corner, not looking super smooth there, getting pushed around by the water, but she's fighting back, trying to come back to the center so she can push across for a nice boof. Pretty clean boof and a little skip. Yeah.
You can definitely tell a couple of those strokes in there, they did look a little bit like they were tired strokes. They weren't fully committed. The technique was a little far back, not giving her the exact crispness that she wants, and that just comes from fatigue. Even though it's a minute and a half, a little bit over a minute and a half course, it will drain you, especially when you know you only have a minute and a half.
Well, it's full anaerobic exercise. It's all about that lactic acid burn. Anyways, our Deicher, she comes into the bottom here, across the line, she's finished, and boy, does she look tired.
Oh, yeah, she's 100% up there, which is awesome to see. Congratulations on making it to the finals, and we will see where you rank here shortly.
You can see on that start, the tail just digging in.
Yep.
Sitting up there is River Mutton, former world champ. She's getting ready to go out of Oakland Falls in New Zealand, paddling Waka Stoke that her dad designed, Mr. Kenny Mutton, one of the legends of Kiwi whitewater. She is headed down the river.
Yeah, but if you saw off that ramp, she really kind of plugged it and had to do 3 or 4 more strokes than she would have
Yes,
wanted.
but look how clean her lines are now.
Up now for sure.
And she is moving fast, and you can see moving to that far right side of the river and staying on that interface, on that eddy line, where you're just on the side of the wave, but not getting covered by it, and still gaining the acceleration from that main current. River Mutton, you know, these guys get up 6 o'clock, start training on the famous Kayaking River. No bullshit. Her house is directly above the put-in. She walks 50 meters or not even and gets on the river and starts down the river ever since she was about 5 years old.
Well, you can tell by her boat control alone that she had.
Look how fast she was right through that corner section right there.
Today, using her hips to get through there, and just using her paddle as a little bit of power adjustment, and she made that look crisp.
There she is, sometimes known by her friends as the River Karen, because her good friend Paul, she was giving him some grief the other day, and that's what he came back with. There she is, coming around the outside of that rock, keeping it clean. She is definitely getting tired there, struggling to keep that boat on line. She comes across the line here with the last few hard strokes.
You can see
that's it.
Everything she can into this last stroke.
Yeah.
She is worn out.
She looks worn out.
Really?
There it is. Sponsored by Level 6, one of the girls here.
Did you say she might be sponsored by Waka as well?
I think I don't know. Sponsored. Dad owns the company. I don't know what you're going to call that. There it is. Marisa KAUP. There she is paddling the new Freon Riz down the river. Good friends with the Riz farmer, who is the designer of that boat. All right.
Since Freon being a German company.
Yeah, well, she's out of Augsburg, I believe.
Okay, famous whitewater slalom course there. Actually, the first man-made slalom course in the world is based in Augsburg.
Was that? Are you sure?
Man-made, fully man-made course is in Augsburg. Made.
Yeah, just went through big renovations 2 years ago. Yeah, it's all freshened up.
To learn how to kayak, and as you can see, she has definitely learned how to kayak, as she is in the top 3.
Well, she does paddle around. She's an AKC member, which is the Alpine Kayak Club, which is the big Bavarian whitewater club, and she spends a lot of time paddling around with the boys. I've seen her, so she gets lots of training laps under her belt. There she is, coming across very nice and smooth through here.
Close on that rock there.
Really fast out of that bottom drop there. Yeah.
If she can keep that speed up through that boot, a little bit too much rock, in my opinion, where she got stumbled up. She didn't keep her nose. She did keep her nose up high, but it didn't quite look just as fast
like
as the river.
She stalled a little bit out on that eddy there and didn't really skip it out. But we'll see how it goes. She's going to push. Oh, she's coming through for that line there on the inside of that rock. Keeps it quite nice, but she looks like she's starting to struggle now.
Look at the strokes and look at that face. She has given it her all as she comes into the last few meters.
Line. You see a lot of correction going in. There it is. Oh, there she is. Marisa KAUP from Level 6 as well, making it across the finish line. That's pretty nice lines, and she did qualify faster than River. That's a big toss-up there.
Yeah.
Coming up now, we have Coline Charel from Pontiac in France.
Okay. France will represent in the #1 spot for the women's final. Here we go. This is the lap for the women's here. And she comes off that ramp and now trying to make up as much time as she can through the flats.
Yeah, nice little skip there, I think. Paddling the Nirvana, the race boat designed in part with Dane Jackson out of the U.S.
Now this is quite older Nirvana, is it not?
Yeah, yeah.
Yes, it is.
No, it's the Nirvana.
This is the Nirvana, my apologies, yes. For a few years there, they were continuing to paddle with the Nirvana because they say it is one of the faster boats for Jackson, so it's really cool to see her still in it and making it look fast for sure. Now she's coming up, getting through the last section of the flats before she gets into the main current. She is looking like she has proper strokes, good energy. She does not look exhausted at this point as she comes into the stair steps. And she's overall making it look real clean.
Off the gas a little. Oh, no, back there.
Pushed a little bit right, actually.
Not so fast out of that drop.
Yeah.
But I think she's got it going on here.
It really depends on this booth right here, see what she can do.
Yeah,
a little bit of skip there, that wasn't too bad. A little bit more than we saw in the previous competitor.
Ooh,
got a little
big push off there.
over there, yeah.
didn't hit that hole just in the right spot and got shuffled a bit to the left.
Yeah, we'll see if that's going to cost her. She comes in on the left side, which is a toss-up again on which one is faster at this point. She choosing to go left, thinking it is faster. As she comes in the last few meters, she's wanting to dig it in right here. 2, 3, 4, maybe 5 strokes to get a couple seconds in, and she is done. That concludes the finals for the women's here at the Devils World Championship.
Oh, look at that skip. That was excellent.
She, you can see on her left shoulder there, is wearing a Hiko top, one of our main headline sponsors there. Hiko has been a part of the Devils for years and years and years. And with
that's the big Czech hope today.
Who are we seeing right now?
That's Barbara. He's a former,
he knows it too.
He knows it. He can hear me on the mic. Barbara is a 2-time silver medalist in London. And here we go, the top qualifiers.
These are the top 5 from
top 5, and then
now it's scrolling.
Now it's scrolling
we
down.
Will have a total of, I
the top 10.
20 competitors for the finals open
there we are, 15.
Let's see here. Maybe top
15 by the looks of it. Top 15 are moving through.
So then let's see who's on the ramp. Opening up the final category today at the Devils Extreme Race.
To be Matthew Montier.
And that is correct. Representing France, we have now kicked off the finals of the open category for the Devils Extreme Race. We will see the final 15 competitors trying to get that gold. Let's see what we have here in the red boat, which I believe was a Jackson as well, correct?
Yes,
it is another Nirvana.
Another Nirvana.
Okay.
You don't see so many of them around here in Europe, not often around. But anyways, Matthew looking very clean and fast. He's setting up, fighting a little bit, sort of moving around to the river a lot. Yeah. The straighter they can get their lines here, the better they're doing.
Stern kind of was fishing around a little bit more than you want to see. You want to definitely see that boat being in control and keeping a straighter line to keep that speed up.
There he comes now.
A little kick up at the top of that first ledge as well.
I feel like he's getting bossed a bit.
I agree. It is not as crazy.
Definitely. Oh, there we are. So
not
folks,
making the mandatory right as well. He's got
to feel like that is probably a disqualification. That rock there is where they definitely needed to go right, and the contestants were all told that that is a mandatory.
Now, is that middle mandatory right? Is this because of a safety concern, or is this?
I'm not entirely sure myself, but I do know that some of the contestants told me that left line can be faster, much faster. You can hold the speed through that previous drop much quicker and just sort of skim the left side of that rock and then cut back and get a really clean booth into that next eddy and sort of along.
Either way, I think from the run that we were seeing, he was not really in contention for the first place. You see him on the monitor right now.
Just getting bubbled off that boil there.
And that's what pushed him off to the left side of that rock.
And now we have Pedro Astorga from the Maipo Valley in Chile.
Chile, I think this is the second South American we've seen today in the finals. You know, they want to represent the World Championship down there, so we're excited to have them as he gets off that ramp. Has a fast little kick off the ramp, and now he is coming through, trying to avoid, as you see, some of those waves that might slow him down, choosing to go on that right side, trying to kind of balance between the wave and the eddies on the right, finding that ideal current where it is not just fast, but also smooth. And right now he's looking a little bit better than the first open category racer.
Top qualifier was paddling the same boat, the Walker Gangster.
Okay.
Race boat that's available from Walker Kayaks.
Which is kind of wild because Gangster has been around quite a bit. There's been several more editions of Walkers coming out since then, but it seems the racers really choose the Gangster and think
not much rocker. Low rocker on the front. So it allows them to keep the boat moving over top of the water without it stalling out.
There we go. Very clean line throughout that. Looking a lot better than the previous one. Not getting caught up in that hold. See how he does on the boot. Little skip. Not the biggest skip in the world, so he's going to want to throw a couple extra strokes here at the bottom.
Getting stalled out. Didn't hit that little hole there with some force. You need to definitely be driving through into that hole. Otherwise, it just stalls you out and steals all your speed and forcing you to spend a lot of energy to re-accelerate.
That's the second time we've seen paddlers get caught up in that hole and kind of blow their contention round for the finals. So it is one that might be underrated to a lot of the racers until they get there and realize that this is something they should have taken a little bit more serious as a final.
So here we go. Coming up next, getting ready will be Vavra, the big Czech Hardelik. I don't know what team. He says he's part of the Kayak Beach Bar team.
Oh, he's part of the beach bar, you know.
I think Barbara recently retired from full-time slalom boating, and so he's still fit as all hell. But there he is starting off. Oh, gets a nice big skip there. Also paddling that Waka Gangster. He's a Waka-sponsored paddler, also quite clearly a Red Bull sponsored.
Correct.
You know,
he is one that you're excited to have at any event that he shows up with. Not just because he's a phenomenal paddler. He is just a solid guy off the river as well. So we're happy to have him on this course, and it's no surprise that he has made it to the finals. Now, he chose a little bit different line. He went on that left side.
Look how straight he was.
Oh, yeah.
And just so smooth and just keeping that momentum moving forward.
I think one of the most underrated things to watch that you can appreciate with this paddler is just how much speed he can go through the flats alone. Yes, of course, he makes the rapid itself look smooth, but those strokes through that flat, they are like artwork. And you can tell right now, getting a little bit.
How fast he was. You can see how he's measuring his strokes, like, and they are just like quite well timed.
Good little skip out there. That's probably the fastest we've seen off the booth so far. He's looking quite well, but there is still remaining, what, 12, 13 competitors before him that want to take his time. Gets a little caught up there, actually.
Getting caught up and stalled out.
That's right. That'll cost him.
Super great for him.
He probably knows that right now as he's coming down, and he knows that this last section, he's got to do something to make it up in order to get on that podium.
He's still a threat, though. Him and Zach are quite good buddies, the top qualifier, and they do a lot of paddling together. But there he is. In he comes. He knows it.
He knows it right there. He knows it.
You're like, damn.
I do see that there is a little bit of difference between him and some of the other competitors on the cardio part.
Look at that. That skip out, just steering the boat with the paddles. And this here, just keeping that boat up and moving.
Always a joy to watch him paddle.
There we are. Marek Suek, he's also from Bruno on the e-finance team.
Okay.
The same guy, same team as Pavel.
Yep. Now he is in an EXO as well.
He's in a Spade. Oil Flush.
Okay, I think this might be the first Spade we've seen today.
Not a very popular boat, this one, but it is actually quite quick if you want to race it. The biggest issue, though, is they are quite heavy. But I have one myself. I've been paddling with Spade for a long time.
How many boats do you have in total?
Not actually that many, only like 3 or 4.
Coming from Czech Republic, he knows he wants to represent.
Those guys from Bruno, they're from Bruno. And I'm right there from Moravia. This is no longer the Czech Republic. The Prague guys,
it's no longer the Czech Republic anymore. Anyways, it's Czechia. So
Czechia, yeah, there we go.
Here.
Anyways, we get all this shit wrong. Anyways, now we come into the core parts of the rapid, and he's going to be lining up there. You can see a slightly different style right there as he was lining up for the drop, not spinning the paddles quite as quickly as Barbara did, but still getting relatively clean lines. And here he comes into the booth. Not a bad skip, but just didn't have that acceleration away from the drop. That sometimes if they dip the tail a little bit and they just get shoved out, sort of like a seed between your fingers.
Right now, if you can see, he is trying to get to the bottom of the course as fast as he can. A couple strokes there that he had to do for correction and not power, which does end up being a little bit slower throughout that flatter section. And If you notice, he is representing Czech Republic, not just Brno on his sleeve there with that custom Hiko top, one of our headline sponsors. Overall, pretty clean line, but I'm not sure it's going to be clean enough to make the podium. We'll have
That
to see
was
a little later on.
excellent, that line right there. He was holding the boat about as good as it gets. And there we have Michele Razmataz from Italy, from Bologna. He has been on the scene for many, many years. Good friend of mine, paddling the boat that he designed, and he's still to today the only person I've ever seen paddle that boat.
Makes it look good, I'll admit.
He definitely makes it look good, but it's the Wave Sport Phoenix. He just got a new one, actually.
I don't think that you could see him in another boat at this point. He is such a name for that boat specifically, and he makes it look fast. And I want to give a shout out to him in particular because of what he does off the river with a lot of his videos. He is very good with posting up instructional videos for people who want to learn how to kayak in a more advanced way of teaching whitewater.
I would also like to say he is the president of the international association that brings all the rules and regulations to the sport.
Interesting.
As well.
So his name is pretty much everywhere within the sport, so it's awesome to see him out here. And I don't think I've been to a race in the last 10 years where he was not in contention at some point, making that section look real clean, trying to drive it through the booth. Let's see if he gets a skip, making it look smooth as well.
No, but that boat, it just stalls out. You see the boat itself, he was paddling hard, but the boat itself is just not sailing over the water like some of the other ones. But he loves his boat, and he's always a good paddler and a good time. It's pretty much, it's always good fun to hang out with Mr. Razmataz. All right, he's coming in. And that's it. We're going to see he's finished. He spends a lot of time riding a mountain bike to stay fit.
Multi-sport athlete over here as he crosses the finish line.
See,
looking barely
breathing.
That's that mountain bike cardio.
Yeah, it's all that cardio he's got.
Overall, pretty smooth run. Will it be in contention for a medal? We'll have to see a little bit later. Who's next up?
Well, we got Paul Aubergine from France.
Okay.
Slipping inside his dude. He's got a nice big purple dude from Letman Kayaks.
Brand new kayak this year.
One of our exhibitors down at the train station at the athletes area. There he is, Mr. Aubergine in the purple kayak. He's off on the ramp. Also a level 6 athlete. He comes to all the races in the last year. You can check him on YouTube on Egg Stream. And they make some
the egg.
yeah.
The food.
Yeah, they make some pretty funny little travel videos, traveling around kayaking with his buddy Milo.
I definitely say they're one of the top whitewater YouTube content producers at this point. They've been around a long time, and they've thrown out some fun footage. Really cool series on the Balkans.
There we go. Yeah, they went back in the spring again. They really like to go to the Balkans. Here he is. He's got some nice fast times, and that dude there, the new kayak from Letman. Quite a nice little boat, actually. I haven't had a chance myself to slip inside a dude, but I definitely want to.
Well, no way.
Look, it's all nice and wet and ready to go.
I mean, if that's what you want, I'm sure you can talk to your aubergine boy right here. Get yourself a lap in this Letman. He is making it look real smooth.
The guy you have to go talk to is Jochen, the owner of the company, down at the exhibitor tent where he's got 4 or 5 boats there for everybody to try.
Yeah, he is down right next to the train station. And right now we're going to see, I'm not sure if it's the boat or the paddler making it look pretty clean, but he's having a pretty fast lap. Got on the left side, which is still a debate on which is faster as he comes into the last 100 meters. Wanting to give a couple more strokes, got a little bit caught up on that last ledge, and he's putting it all in.
I was talking to him actually about that last move before he started. And we were discussing the pros and the cons if you should go left or right at that last rock.
Well,
he chose the left side,
so that's something to think about.
I think a lot of it also is the line can often be the best line to go.
Okay, next up from France.
From Norway, this boy. He lives up in Voss nowadays.
Okay.
He's part of the Voss Kayak Club, was a longtime organizer of a big race up there called the Myrkdalen. Myrkdalen Slalom.
We have several paddlers that have decided to move up to Norway here in the finals, actually.
Yes, but he's still a Frenchman at heart, and wasn't so happy with some of his runs yesterday, so he definitely feels like he has something to prove, I am sure.
Well, that right line that he did right there definitely looked like an improvement because it was fast and it's smooth. Again, being in a Jackson Nirvana, a little bit older model, but it seems to be the Jackson of choice for this race so far in the finals. Coming in the last section of the flats, he's wanting to give a couple extra strokes to pick up some speed as he gets into the stair steps themselves. First little kick looks pretty good. Now he's going to come in one more ledge before he needs to start driving right, making it look pretty smooth. Doesn't want to get too much of the rock here, which looks pretty good. And now he's coming into that final booth. And this really can take out some time if you do not get that nose up.
Yes, but you also stayed clean in the main flow there, which allowed him to push out and carry the speed into that little hole in the back, which seems to catch a few guys out now and then. And which way is he going to go? Looks like he's going to head over to the left-hand side, easing off on the paddle to make the corner. That's part of the problem with that line is you have to stop paddling to allow the boat to make that corner. Otherwise, you just overpower and shoot yourself off into no man's land. And there he is, Mr. Casanel across the line, looking like he definitely put in a full pull right there.
That was actually a pretty clean lap all the way through. I think he's going to be happy with that time. Will it be enough? We will see. But he did give it his 100%. You can tell all the way through. And overall, made things look pretty clean.
Here we go. We got Tom Doily from France.
Oh boy, this guy is known in all aspects of the kayak world. He brought home the World Championships of Playboat, and now he's going to try to bring the World Championship here at Devil's Extreme Race.
Yes, the smallest minion, they call him over there in France.
I'm sure he loves that name.
I'm sure he does, but that's what Aubergine was telling me his name is. The smallest minion, Tall Doyle. Did he win in flatline?
I want to say...
yeah, he did well, I know that.
I want to say, if I remember correctly, I believe in Plattling, Germany this year, he had a really good result, and I want to say he may have won, but I would need to check back on the record.
I have to check back on that myself, but he is definitely for sure a good all-round boater there.
Yeah, it's good to see him on this course actually being upright, because with his play boating, you only see him twisting and turling. Now you can see it if he can go down
very fast. Jackson also running the Nirvana.
Now he needs to start driving right. Let's see here, getting a little bit pushed up, having to do a correction stroke to avoid that rock, but still made it look clean. Now he's coming up into that final ledge booth, wanting to get that skip, seeing how he's throwing his nose down and then popping it back up to get that extra additional skip out. Doing really well. That pocket hole at the very end didn't catch him, and now we get to choose on the decision rock here if he's going to go right or left. It looks like he's choosing right. First one of the finals open category to choose right. And now he's going to want to make up the last 150 meters here with a couple powerful strokes as he's getting into a little bit more flat water, a little bit less current, and wanting to get those last strokes in. Very good, gave it 100% there. You can see even at the very end, he is spent.
Full red face on that boy there. There it is, coming across a little bit early, but managing to recover there. It was definitely a bit early. He almost tagged that big rock.
One tiny half correction stroke there, and that can cause a few milliseconds to a second.
Here we are, one of our Kiwi competitors this week, Nick Collier from Alexandria in the South Island of New Zealand. He is out here racing slalom, but decided to take a little break and come down for some whitewater fun.
Interesting slalom background.
Oh yeah, he motocross. The kayak cross is his event.
Okay.
And you can see him here paddling the piece, the Prion piece.
New boat from Prion as well. For
year old now.
Yeah,
year old now.
Are the two latest editions.
We will see the designer of that boat in two competitors.
Wow.
Actually.
Yeah, it's crazy. We have several boat designers and boat companies actually represented in the race, which is always cool to see that they don't just run a company, but they are just as passionate on the river as he's coming into that ledge, looking really fast with those strokes. You can tell he's a slalom paddler just by how he paddles on that flat water.
Very clean on that flat water. There he is. The beast as well, it's good size for his weight as long as he keeps that front end up.
Oh wow, nice skip on that second little drop there. You can see now he's wanting that same skip off this drop. Doesn't quite get it, actually. He gets a little topsy-turvy on top of the boilie water there.
I believe he has a world championship medal in kayak cross this guy.
Wow.
So he's no pushover.
No, he's also...
Oh, there he is going on a completely different line there.
This is the first time I've seen someone go hard left from the very beginning, which obviously means he's going to go left around the decision rock. And now he has about 150 meters.
Oh, a little correction there, getting a boss off line with the tail of the boat, but keeping it all the way across. You can see this boy has some cardio under his belt.
For sure.
Yeah, he's just, I'm chilling now.
Yeah.
I'm chilling.
And I mean, realistically, 100 or a minute and 30, minute 40 is a competitive time around some slalom courses as well. So he's used to this duration of a race. This is definitely more in his wheelhouse. Next up, a legend in himself with Zet, with Hiko. This is Mikko Butel, and he is one of the best whitewater Czech paddlers around. I'm expecting a really fast time from him. He not only has coached Czech legends, but he's also a representative and account manager for our lead sponsor Hiko here. So all around immersed into the whitewater.
Bow dry. His semifinal run, he was much deeper in the water, moving early across to get a nice straighter line into this flat.
He's also
right
keeping
here.
that left line that some are opting to do, keeping into that current when he's coming into the second section of flats here. Look at those strokes good. He does have a slalom background. He was a slalom coach, slalom competitor, and you can tell from his strokes as he comes into the staircase. Getting kicked slightly around. I think he'd like to keep it a little bit more dry, but he's coming up now, driving towards the right at our mandatory right rock here. Getting tossed a little bit. He's gonna, having to do a big correction stroke there, going a little bit too far, needing a good skip here. He knows that he is a few
He's gonna
seconds
have to
at this point.
push on this bottom course here a lot. Getting stalled out. Unfortunately,
that is second or third
thank
mistake
you
in a
for
row.
playing, Hiko, but I think you need to come back next year.
That is correct. We'll see where he still places up, but there was a
3 big mistakes.
Yeah, a few mistakes there that he's going to regret and think about tonight at the party.
I think he's going to try and win the arm wrestling now.
We will see what he does. He knows it. You can see that tapping on his head. He is frustrated, but still, he made it to the finals. He's going to be happy to represent his country here, and I am sure he'll be back next year.
All right. Coming up next, we have a man known as the Riz Farmer, Marina Spala. He is from near Rosenheim.
Oh, also a German
in Germany, working for Freon, designer of the Beast, the Riz, and the top secret new boat that's coming. I was talking to him on the train about it, but he won't tell me anything. He said he'd have to kill me. But Riz Farmer is out there on the course, coming down. He's also the president of the AKC, the Alpine Kayak Club of Bavaria. It's quite a prestigious organization for the Bavarian paddlers, but he's been the lightest president. There's more than a few members here today.
You know, and that's something I've mentioned before, is that I just absolutely love that not only our competitors are fast boaters and huge into the racing scene, but they are also just as equally giving back to the community, building boats, being part of clubs, getting the next generation on the water. And as he comes in the staircase, we will see how he likes that new boat that is his own personal design. Right now he's making it look pretty clean as he comes into the mandatory right here, getting a nice little skip out. That's the second time we've seen that Freon actually skip the same way, so it is good there. Nice clean off that boot.
It's the high front end, big volume in the front, holds the boat high and dry.
A little bit there, though. He had 2 correction strokes and a 3rd correction stroke right after.
Now he's getting
back
tired here.
Yeah.
Looks like he might take a bit much rock. Oh, there we go. Nice little lines through there, staying on line, managing to put the power down. But he's struggling. Ooh, big correction.
You can tell his stamina is dwindling. He knows he has a couple few strokes, but does he still have it in him? He gives it all he can. We will see. There was 2 or 3 correctional strokes up in there that could cost him greatly when it comes to getting on that podium.
Here we go. This is the mandatory right line here, dropping through. Ooh,
Oh
Nice
my goodness.
line.
Do you know who this is?
I do know who this is.
Who is
Eric DeGill from Pow Pow.
If you have raced,
he's gonna pow this course. I know that. There he is.
Raced at any
The old
point.
man racing. I think
know him.
he went to the big race, the Green Race
Yep.
in North Carolina. Never raced there before and got third. So
Yes.
we know he's all about the business.
Yeah, there is not enough words to describe this paddler here. I think for my entire paddling career, he has been racing and placing, if not winning. His career is not just...
I think he actually qualifies for master category, but I'm not sure.
He does, he did. We talked to the organizer earlier. He had the choice because you can choose to either do the Masters or the Open. You cannot do both, and he wanted to compete in the Open, and for obvious reasons, because he is fast.
He's the 4th KAUP qualifier here today, and you have to remember that Morenas, the Riz farmer, is actually in his 20s, and
Yep.
if he's Masters, that means he's in his 40s, so 20 years younger.
20 years difference between competitors, and yet he's making it look like he's paddling like a 20-year-old. One of the fastest I have seen through that top section, right by the portage, or not the portage, the mandatory right. Getting a one-stroke adjustment right there at that sneaky little hole at the bottom, but other than that, making
Still
it look
keeping the
clean.
power down,
Yep.
though. What is that, a Liquid Logic
It's
Alpha?
Liquid Logic, the only Liquid Logic here in the finals and in the semifinals, actually.
One of the only, I've only seen 3 of these boats in Europe.
Oh yeah.
It's not many.
Definitely an American brand, not easy to get, but obviously it's his boat of choice, and he made a fast lap there.
Caught the end of it,
He
too.
did, he did. It is a duct tape boat in the back. He is stoked with that ride. He knows he did what he wanted to do.
That was
and now
that was a nice, clean line, and could definitely be a winning run
Yep.
here today.
he knows
For
it. Now it's
sure.
just about waiting and seeing what the final 3 have. And
All right, here we go, Mr. George Snook
now
from O'Carey Falls. Grew up with River and Zach. House down the road. These guys, 6 o'clock in the morning, Kaituna runs. That's training time.
on some of the best routes New Zealand has to offer.
Yeah.
He is a Hiko paddler, one of our headline sponsors here. So you know he has a little pressure. He wants to throw down a good time. He wants to be on that
He
podium.
just wants to beat Zach.
Oh, he
I
wants to
tell you the truth there. He just wants to beat Zach.
We'll see if he does it right now. He had a
He's been-
little hesitation on the skip from the ramp, so he's wanting to make up a second or two during the flats here. He's also choosing to go on the left side, which seems to be a faster kickoff right as you get into
You're much
flats.
straighter into the flats.
Yeah.
Just
Yep.
straight up a shorter distance. You have less distance to paddle, and it makes all the difference.
Now he's coming up on the crux.
Here he comes now into the crux. George, our boy from O'Carey Falls. You know, these guys grew up together. They love to do little races there and stuff like that. He was slalom boating for a long time for New Zealand, and right now he's just traveling and living the life through Europe. He's having a
Saying
good
he's gonna
days.
spend pretty much the summer here paddling in Europe, trying to not just win races, but explore some of the best rivers that this continent has to offer. Right now, his run is looking pretty smooth. Is it smooth enough to beat DEGUIL? We will have to see. He is also choosing to go on the left line, which is an interesting choice. I was actually expecting him to choose right, but he obviously knows a little bit more than I do and wants to get that fast time as he comes into the last.
Yes, but he kept his speed quite nicely
Yep.
through there, the boat nice and dry. Also paddling against her.
Yep.
You know, I guess if you grow up with the owner's son, you're probably going to keep paddling.
Have a little partial choice on there. Hiko rider making it look smooth, knowing that he wants to be on that podium as he qualified in the top 3. Speaking of Hiko riders, we got one of the best right here.
Chutkas, HONZA Chutka.
HONZA Chutka, and I personally love this guy. I was a safety boater with him on the North Fork, and he is one of the greatest people not only to work with, race with, paddle with, but he's also the designer of the boat he is in right now, the Zet Ninja.
A hot wing.
Hot wing, originally when it was made out of fiberglass. Once Zet took it over, did a little modifications and made it their own.
I was talking with Viktor, the owner of Zet. Jan has a new boat out there, actually, and it's sitting in the computers, ready to go. Viktor was a little bit upset on the fact that it's a few months delayed. But I'm excited to see it. It is a continuation, a slightly bigger boat for the bigger guys to...
That's surprising because the Zed is already quite a wide boat as he passes by us very fast through the flats there.
Bigger volume, not
a bigger volume. Okay, I was going to say it is a wide boat. Coming through wide flats. I'm expecting him to know how to control that Zet right there simply because that is his baby. He worked hard on it and he knows it like no one else and he's making it look like it. But he did get subbed out there a little bit. He needs a good skip here to make up time. Another not super great skip that he's going to...
getting bossed around by the water and covered.
More than he wants to be, for sure.
But for sure, this is looking somewhat similar to his semis run, and he came in second, so you can't say too much.
No, I never doubt Honza. He is one of those that will surprise you every way, every time you paddle with him, because he is not just fast, but he is fierce and smart on the water.
Big correction.
Oh, that's not good. That's not good at all.
Oh,
that right there, he knows what just happened.
He needs to be driving through.
Yeah, he knows what just happened. Right there.
My boy.
Meters probably just cost him the race. As a Hiko rider, you know that he is disappointed to not be on that podium, but we'll see what his time comes in.
Big recovery. He's almost flipped over there. That is not going forward, that is going sideways.
No. Now we are in our final race of the day for the Devil's Extreme race. Who is it? Have you ever heard of this guy before?
No, man. I only paddled with his dad a few times.
Maybe a few times. Who is this?
This is Zach Mutton out of O'Carey Falls. Brother to River Mutton.
Who's already competed in the
women's category today, who put down a very fast time. These two, I think, at one point were king and queen of the Alps, or king and queen and world champions.
Was it the same year? I'm not sure, but I do think they both hold the title at some point.
They both definitely held the title. I think they held it together, though.
Yeah, I know this is a long history of paddling family here. And you know they want to throw down a good time.
Sure. His dad, Kenny Mutton, has been a
legend in the whitewater world.
So many years, designed many boats for Freon, boats for his own company, boats for Ballistic, many things. But here he is coming into the core section of the rapids, cutting across. And look at that, the Kiwis in the background.
He had to do two left-handed strokes, adjustment strokes.
He's
going keeping it
fast out the
reason he had to do adjustment was just because he had so much speed through that section.
So early to the wall. It was amazing. Here he is getting pushed around a bit, not looking as clean as he was in the qualifying run just before.
He's choosing to go right there on Decision Rock.
Yes, that was definitely his line before, and he's making it look good.
Now we have 100 meters left until the finals are concluded.
There he is.
Know who is the winner of the
how fast it is. And there he is. He's across the line. Zach Mutton with a great time, I believe.
I believe it looked pretty smooth overall. Nothing major standing out. We will now have to go 2 times. Look at that face.
I think he definitely gave some energy out.
Oh, yeah. He knows that he did what he wanted to out there. Will it be enough? We will have to...
There's his big smile. He's recovered now, guys. All right. That looked good from him. We're going to have to see. We're going to have to wait to head to kayaksession.com, and you'll see all the results posted up there. We don't have them in front of us, so we can't say. It's going to be as much a surprise to us as it is to you.
We have a pretty good idea on who's going to be in the top spot, but the actual seconds we will...
Look at that in the background, showing our sponsors there, GoPro, Hiko, Zek Kayaks, Piranha Kayaks. Oh my gosh, there's so many out there.
So many companies supporting this event. We're so happy to have it.
The train company. The train company, they are big sponsors of this event every year. Next year, 20 years.
Wow.
Oh, there's Water Element. That's one of the big Czech kayaks up. There's some guy called Viking Climbing. He does a lot of the rigging work. You know, we're finishing up here, guys. If you're around in the area, make sure you join us in the tent tonight to see some of the foosball tournament and the arm wrestling tournament, which is a long-standing contest here at,
tradition for Devils Extreme.
for Devils. They get out the thing and everything.
Everybody gathering around now, trying to figure out who's won, who is going to be crowned a little bit later this evening.
Looks like might be
a lot of hugs for River, a lot of hugs for Eric. See who else we have.
Yeah, I think we might have our winners there. Looks like not Edgar, Nils Bierman.
Wow, Nils for the youngster category.
Yeah, looks like.
I want to give a huge thank you again to
a couple guys enjoying being famous. Yeah, there they are.
Look at that.
Talking hard. All right.
Yeah, I want to give a huge thanks not only to our sponsors, but also all the people that helped us out. Special thanks to Paya and Mira as they put their blood, sweat, and tears year after year into this event. I also want to give out the tech crew who was up here since 6 this morning, getting the visual and the audio set up. And just to my left, we have some incredible drone pilots. Yeah, these guys right here made the show happen where we were able to see the race. Big shout out to them. So thanks for everybody that came out. Thanks for everybody that put in the hard work to make this happen. And thanks for our sponsors, Hiko, Zet. The train station would always crack me up as you don't see that too much.
Oh, no, man, that's the craziest thing ever, the train station. And then when you get on the rivers, there's so many kayakers, you lose all your friends.
Oh, yeah, it is a wild event because it's not just the race. The cool event about this is it's just one time a year that this dam is released, so everybody shows up. It's everybody's
getting
first lap of the year.
Background noise here. I don't know, they got some open mic down there. Oh, now we got some wreck boaters just coming down the river. You have to remember there's a whole crowd of people waiting at the top that all had to stop their day for the hour that it took us to run. So we would like to thank those people as well, because it is an open public space that was just closed off just for this races.
Yeah, so we will probably see a rush of paddlers coming in, and a lot of our semifinalists and finalists will probably actually throw up their boat as fast as they can in order to do their final laps as we close out the Devils Extreme World Championship.
pohodlném oblečení jsem v pohodě celý den. Bushman. Česká klasika.
Repre vám již 25 let přináší pohodlí a styl.